Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this one we are looking at Hcmc because I've seen a lot of people talk about this stock recently and I completely understand why. The potential is there, but a lot of people have been talking about price targets of $3-4 in the next year and up to $25 in the next 2 to 5 years. And I do actually know where this information is coming from, but tonight I want to give my opinions on it and whether this is or is not a realistic target. If you might enjoy this video and if you want to hear my personal targets for this one in the next 1 to 5 years, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It would be massively appreciated as we are trying to grow the channel as fast as possible. With that being said though, we're not going to waste any more time and we're going to jump straight into the episode, but please remember that this is not financial advice and you do need to do your own research. Let's go. So yeah guys, Hcmc has seen a lot of growth mainly over the past 5 days. If we can have a quick look on the charts, we can see up until the highs, we went up by about 233%, and even accounting for that sell-off that we have seen on the Thursday and the Friday, we are still up by 136%, so it is still a rather large increase indeed. We have a main catalyst right now, which is of course that lawsuit which is hopefully coming soon with Philip Morris International for a product which they apparently have the patent to. That is Hcmc, by the way, they apparently have the patent. I think if they can win this one, it would be a great thing in the short term, and it could also send the share price flying go forwards. Now, many people have been talking about this one, and I definitely do believe it is possible that they could win. I think if they are to win, this definitely could be the start of this stock gaining recognition on the market, and of course, seeing the price go up in the future. But realistically, we do need to be 100% more, long term when we are looking at this stock, because yes, a lot of people are probably taking this one as a speculative trade, i.e., buying it now, selling out around the time of the lawsuit and hopefully making a decent profit, and I completely understand why people would do that, but I think that with this stock there is that long-term potential. I think this could be one of those penny stocks which we do want to hold for the more long term. But I think where we are right now, the price is obviously only a fraction of a penny. It is relatively cheap in price. I think going forwards, this one does have that potential to see very big growth, but I think people are kind of overestimating what they are seeing. Now, like I said, I 100% understand where these estimates are coming from. A lot of these are coming from websites. This one is coming from Wallet Investor. It's talking about their forecast for the stock in the next year of about $3.784. So of course, that would be a huge increase in price. It would take this stock up by a massive amount. I think a lot of people are looking to these forecasts here of about $3 or $4 in the next year, or maybe even $25 in the next 5 years, and seeing that this one could be a realistic estimate for the share price. Now guys, I definitely do believe this company is strong. It has the fundamentals there, but we need to look at this one realistically. The market cap is only about 446 million, and we've talked about this one in a previous episode, and somebody did actually point it out in the comment section of a previous episode. If this one was to rocket up to $1 in price, the share price, or at least the company's market cap, would go up to something like 78 billion, which would be a huge increase. And I think it's things like that that do put it into context. Now overall, long term, in the next 5 years, I definitely think it could hit $1 max, but I think this estimate of $25 in the next 5 years is a bit over the top. I'm not sure where they got these figures from, but I think what's happening here is a lot of investors are looking on the internet, reading these articles and anticipating this one going up to such a huge amount. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's impossible, it could go up to that high. There could be some magical factor which could send it flying that high, but personally I don't believe that is a realistic estimate. I think $1 could be a very long-term target, but I think right now that is a speculative play. We need to see it for what it is, guys. This one could easily double in price, it could easily triple in price, quadruple in price, maybe even more than that. I think that's a case of, if this one was to triple in price, for example, we would get very huge gains, as you can imagine right now. So I think now is definitely the most perfect time to buy this one, because we have seen a few days of selling off. I think going forwards into tomorrow and the next week, it really is going to see more growth, and I think that will be a fantastic entry point on tomorrow morning. But I think this target of $1, $2, $3, $25 in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years is well over the top. I think that is a very, very, very optimistic target. Some might even say unrealistic. So guys, a lot of people were telling me to give my personal opinions on this one. That is what I think. I think this one definitely could double, triple, quadruple, but I think the target of it hitting $25 is well over the top. I think it could potentially hit 1 in the next 2 to 5 years. I think even then that would be a fantastic profit for many people, but I think that's definitely a very over the top estimate even from me. I think a realistic estimate would be for this one to hit maybe 1 cent or maybe even 10 cents at maximum, but I don't think it's going to rocket as high as people people are anticipating if they think it's going to hit $1. I'm sure a lot of people do see this one for what it is, and the fact that it does really have a lot of potential going forwards. It absolutely could see an explosion in share price, and personally I do already own 75,000 shares of this company. Now I know that someone's going to be in the comment section saying that I should own 1 million shares or 2 million shares. Personally guys, I am not going to own millions and millions of shares of this stock, simply due to the fact that I am not going to risk that much, because personally yes, I do believe this one could explode, but of course if this one was to double in price and I was to own 75,000 shares, I would be happy with the amount of money that I would personally take home. And I know that people want me to add more, but personally guys, I am not willing to risk that much. But this one really does have that potential going forwards. It is still a speculative play, but as far as entry points do come with this stock, I think tomorrow is probably going to be one of the best. I think it is going to see growth into the next week, and I am actually happy that it has dipped even further right now, because it does definitely present a new buy point for the stock. And I do think that long term this one does have potential. Obviously the catalyst with that lawsuit is coming up pretty soon. I think it is March if I'm correct. I think this one really is going to have an effect on the share price, but overall I don't think it's going to be enough to drag it up to a few dollars. There is that potential in the long term, don't get me wrong, it could hit $2 in the very long term. I think that would be a fantastic target if you are willing to hold for a few years, but people saying that it's going to hit $4 in the next year, unless something magical was to happen, in my personal opinion, that's not going to be possible. But I don't think that's a bad thing overall, because we just need to look at how low the share price is and how high it could go. I think it could go high enough to give us decent profits, but of course $1 is just a bit over the top in my personal view. And that's just my opinion guys, I could be 100% wrong, it's just what I personally think. I am holding shares like I've said, and if it was to double in price, fantastic, I think that's perfect. If it was to go up to $1 in price, amazing, but I just think that's a bit over the top, and I just don't believe it could personally happen. But please do tell me what you think down in the comment section. I think for a long-term hold now is a fantastic entry point though. I think you definitely could see this one double in price, triple in price, or maybe even 4 times in price or more, but I just think it's not going to go up as high as people are anticipating. If they think it's going to hit $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 in the next few months, I don't think that's a bad thing either. I definitely think, you know, this one going up by a significant amount would be justifiable to buy it right now. But like I said guys, please do tell me what you think down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. I'll see you in the next one. Bye until then.